Hello and welcome to Scott's Kitchen. Today we're going to make taquitos. The problem with taquitos is that normally you have to deep fry them. So you'd roll them up and then you would deep fry them, so you have to have a big pot or a deep fryer, and you have to deal with the oil and put them in there, and then you have to deal with them floating and unrolling. You roll up the taquitos, or rolled tacos as some people call them, but you roll them up and then you put them in the deep fryer and they all come out and all the filling floats all over the place and the cheese melts. So sometimes you put a toothpick and it's just a big pain in the butt. But I got this idea, and the idea I had was to make them, roll them, and then put them in the air fryer and see if I can cook them in the air fryer instead of the deep fryer. And what I'll do is when I'm cooking them is I'm going to put a little oil in the pan, just some vegetable oil, just a little bit to coat it, and that might give it the crunchiness that you kind of get with a deep fried taquito. So we're going to do beef and cheese. Let me show you the ingredients right now. Here's the basic ingredients that I'm going to use. I kind of start with this. I mean, you could use pulled pork, you could use chicken, you could use anything, but I really like this from Costco, and it's kind of like roast beef, but it's shredded on the inside, and we'll cook that up. We'll add some diced green chilies. Herdez salsa is the greatest, and I found the salsa casera, which I love, and I found it with hot, so I'm going to do that. And then I have some leftover salsa that we got from a local taco shop that we had left over. And we don't have much of the cheese left, so I'm going to use the Tillamook cheddar and then just some king size Guerrero. I love those tortillas, and we're going to use all of that. That's it. That's all it's going to take. So let's start by making the filling. All right, so I've got the fire going in my pan, and some people will drain these, but I think that's a lot of flavor, and I'm just going to cook it down. And then we're going to add the diced green chilies later. I'm going to chop this up a bit and get it heating on the stove. Okay, getting some heat going in there. Let's continue on with this for a while. So this is right at the point that I like it. It's just firm enough to kind of hold together in a taquito. Just going to stir this around for a couple more minutes, and then I'm going to put it in this bowl. Oh yeah, that's good. That's going to be perfect. So I'll pour this into So some of you may be asking, why am I cooking the tortillas? I'm not really cooking them, I'm just sort of softening them, because if I try to, this shell is pretty hard. If I tried to roll this right now, it's just going to split and fall apart. It's way too hard. So if I just coat this, maybe I can do a couple because I got to put a lot of oil in there, and just kind of heat them up. They sort of change. It's weird. The tortillas like change their structure or something. I'm not sure what the chemistry is involved, but it becomes nice and pliable, and then you can do what you need to do with them. There's also, I also look at, like, there's sort of a side, like an inside and an outside. You see how this is kind of, you see how this is kind of like cupped? I sort of think of this as the inside and the outside. So I started off, because I only have this much grated cheese, and I took the sliced cheese and I started off kind of chunking it up. And I think what I might do is, if I could put it like that, and then put a piece in, like a third, put a piece in the tortilla, and then the meat down, and it would kind of melt, and then it would roll. So that's sort of the idea that I'm gonna go with. Okay, so my idea is to put a piece of cheese like that, and then get my filling, not too much. Kind of do this thing. And then we'll just try to roll. Tuck. Just like a burrito, but smaller. Tortilla. That one looks good. And I'm just going to keep adding oil and a piece of cheese and some of this. And we're just going to continue on like this until we get, oh wow, that looks great. And then kind of put it, you know, the open side down, and we'll stack up that whole air fryer. Okay, so I have the first batch in the air fryer. Let's start it up and see how it does. Not sure what temperature or what time, but we'll go with 350 for 15 minutes. I'll probably check it after like 7. All right, it's been in there a few minutes, so let's check out how it looks. Ooh, I think that's gonna be about perfect. Okay, let's check them again. Nice, look at the cheese. I don't know whether you can see the cheese is melting. Order up, fresh made taquitos. So let's take a look at these. They look like they're perfectly done. Nice and hard shells. The meat looks really good, cooked in there. I think it came out great. I think this was a success. Okay, so let's try one. Now I know green salsa isn't traditional. It's usually for pork, but I like it, so I'm gonna use it. Mmm. Look at that crunch. Great flavor. Nice level of heat. That is really good. Well, this was a really fun recipe. Thanks for joining me here on Scott's Kitchen. Hope you had a good time, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.